Come on in. Let me get Dr. Alicia. Come on in. And I don't have no music. Let me get some music. Hey, y'all. How are y'all doing? We're going to be going live right now. Go ahead and invite some people. We're going to be taking y'all's questions. So please come on in the room. Come on in the room. Tonight, we are going to be discussing, does black love, do you believe in it? Do you believe in black love? Do you think you can have black love? Are you going to have black love one day? At the end of our talk, we are definitely going to. Hello, Dr. Alicia. She's about to come soon. Oh, I can request to join, accept. Hello.
Hey,
How are you doing?
I'm all right. How you doing, Jasmine? How you feeling?
This is a different week. I got my mind together. I got my heart together. I got my spirit together. I took a self-care day. I took time to myself. I did have to remember I'm a business owner, so I can't necessarily take all year with it, but I definitely got myself together. I talked it out. So many people called me, text me, checked on me. I felt the love that you was giving me, that so many people online were giving me. And honestly, Dr. Leash, I had so many people sending me nice stuff. Like, people were just like, Jasmine, I'm proud of you. Thank you for sharing your story. It was more positive than it was negative. And I just had to look at the statistics of it. So overall, the talk helped. I needed to get it out. And it didn't look pretty last week. It wasn't sexy last week. It was, but I finally feel like I got a small piece of justice. Like, my video made it to people that can actually help me with it. So I think it's true. With no justice, there's no peace. And it was hard for me to find some peace. I ain't had no justice. Still don't, but I'm more at peace with the fact that at least my story has reached people and it didn't just go to the wayside.
Yeah, because you were talking a lot about how you felt as if you didn't have a support system, but it sounds as like you actually do have a support system to call upon. So,
Yeah.
You have to remember these people. I'm included, and there's a lot of other friends and family, probably family. I don't know anyone in your family, but I'm sure there are a lot of other people that would love to support you.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I've been waiting for 8 years on some of these people. So maybe year 8, that's when they'll come around.
yeah, and I think they're there. I think they're close to you. I also think that I feel really good that you talked about self-care and doing things for yourself because you have to have, you can't have sadness and you can't have anxiety or any of those things as long as you're in a relaxed body and
Yeah.
you're nice and calm and you do things for yourself that you know is going to be really helpful for you, because you have to, all of the things that you want to accomplish, all of the things you want to do, you could sabotage it if you're depleted. You have to be in a place where you can receive it. You have a clear mind. It's always nice to just have a plan that's embedded in your daily activities that will help you deal with the problems of the world, because you have to be stable. Nothing can shake you off of your, I guess, box, so to speak, your square. People say, don't shake me off my square. But,
Yeah.
that you have to keep in mind. So this is a good illustration for all of us,
Yes.
because things will happen to us that's unexpected, and things will happen to us that shouldn't happen to us, like what happened to you. And it's important for us not to react to these things.
Right.
It could be self-defeating, but good job. You look great.
Thanks. I did make time to get my hair done that Monday.
Yeah.
And also, with everything that went on, I really just learned that it's not even about that situation. It's how my expectations of people needed to shift. I can't expect things from people when they're going through their own motions of life. They have their own, day to day, they got their jobs, they got their kids, they got this. They can only do so much. So when I lower my expectations of people and I really understood that, you know, you told me to go outside and walk to, I got some AirPods now. So I go outside, even if I gotta be on the phone. I walked and I sat and I put my feet in the pool and I talked on the phone while I was on at the pool. So I was like, that was something different, right? Also, it's not raining in Dallas, by the way. It definitely did a tsunami last week. So I think that was super helpful. And I just literally tried, I'm doing my best to live my life out loud, which means I had a therapy session right here live in front of all of y'all. And y'all saw how it all went down. I went from mad. I felt every emotion, like Nipsey said. I was outraged, scared, frightened. And then I was like, what the heck? That woman really did that to me. Now I'm like, I want to get back at you. And then it's like, when you don't feel safe, it's just like, well, what do you do then? You know, so it's just like so many emotions. But then I finally just came to the conclusion I am responsible for myself, how I react, like you said, being able to say, you know what, I'm a leader. That's really what came. I'm a leader. I put out negative energy in a way, like it was negative. It was like, I don't know where she at. And I got positive energy, but also from people that have known me, it seemed out of character. So I just have to respect, like, understand and take responsibility. You know, if I offended anybody, I'm sorry, but I'm kind of not. But like, I'm aware. I'm aware that as a leader, I have to do things a little differently. So next time, if I'm in any of these situations, hopefully it won't go in a negative way, or I won't be able to react the same way because it wouldn't have been my first time.
Yeah, it's funny. And you're talking about you were able to go outside and walk around eventually. So it's a metaphor that after the storm, you know, after there's a storm, there's always going to be sunshine, and there's always going to be a time for you to go outside, metaphorically speaking, where you can,
Yes.
you know, bathe in the sun or put your feet in the water and talk to people. So I think that's so important. And I'm not certain that you need to lower your expectations, Jasmine. I think, you know, having realistic expectations is important.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody said they don't know the story. Do you want to briefly?
You know,
Oh, then what happened? Can you give us some updates?
yes.
Some updates.
So last Friday, I went out with a friend who I had met only probably 6 days, and we were going to go bowling, and I wanted a bite to eat. At P.F. Chang's, I was disrespected to the highest degree, and he was as well. I reacted. I posted it on social media because the awareness still needed to be there, because I don't think anybody would have believed that even took place. And then P.F. Chang's reached out to me. They're completely apologetic. I have then talked to attorneys, Sean King, and also the Lee Morris, I want to say this is his name. He is an Esquire. He's an attorney. He has also saw what happened to me. So I have legal representation, as well as my story reached, I would say, the masses. It garnered over 20-something thousand on TikTok, over 20-something thousand on Instagram. You know, most people don't even talk to 20,000 people in their lifetime. So that was enough to be able to say, whoever needed to see that video, they saw it. And just, you know, that's kind of the story. You can go on my Instagram. I didn't delete too many things. I did take some things down that were a little irrational, I guess. But it was still truthful. But overall, I took down certain things in order to make sure that I kept my composure and who I am as a person. Also, Dr. Alicia, someone just asked, how do you control your emotions? I can say, as someone being born in March, I am an emotion. I wake up with an emotion. I go to sleep with an emotion. I sleep, breathe, and eat emotion. So I am still learning at 28 years old how to manage my emotions. So, Dr. Alicia, you know, if you got some words for the people, that's your first question for tonight.
Well, okay, before I get into emotions, I do want to say that Boyce put it up, Dr. Boyce put it up on his.
Yes, he put it up too.
I don't know how many views. It got a lot of views on Instagram, but I think on YouTube, he put it up on YouTube. It's got almost 100. I want to say 100,000 views.
Are you serious?
I think that's what he told me today. I asked him,
Oh my God.
if not 100,000, I think on all of his platforms together, it got about 100,000 views.
Wow.
Yeah, you
Didn't
talk
know that.
1,000 views. I'm like, okay. Wait till I tell her this.
Well, I would say that that experience had purpose. More than enough purpose attached.
That is funny. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm glad that you're giving us an update. It does seem as if people who can actually do something about it are taking interest, and keep us updated. I'm going to ask you about it next week.
Okay, I will. I'll keep you updated. You're about the
Oh,
only one I'm gonna keep updated. I'll do it for you.
just me and you.
And
Okay.
my therapist. And my therapist.
Oh my God. So the issue with emotions, and I think emotions come from feelings, right? So all of us have feelings, and it's so important for us to always be in tune with our feelings, right?
Yes.
How we feel. Emotions is how we express how we feel. So if you're sad, what's the best thing to do when you're sad? You,
Isolate.
well, what do you do? What would be a great emotional thing to do when you're feeling sad?
When I feel sad, I go and rehearse everything that could have led to this experience, and then I like resonate on it on what I could have done to make this better, or like how did I get here. So I do a ton of self-reflection.
Okay, so people in the who's joined us, what do you all do? What's a good emotional thing to do when you're sad? Does anybody know? Sir Totem, Kayla Sultry, what do y'all do when you're sad in terms of your emotions? Does anybody know who else is in here? Mellow Daily.
I just go through the feelings knowing tomorrow will be better.
No,
I like that.
better. Okay, so I think when we talk about emotions, what you should do when you're sad is cry. Let yourself cry. And so that's an emotional thing. And a lot of people have like trained themselves not to cry. You have to have a way of when you start to realize that you're sad, crying is okay.
Yeah.
Start to cry.
People are saying stuff in the chat too. They're saying I'm
Yeah.
similar to Jasmine, but I actually have started to cry. Melanie from Atlanta, find an outlet, listen to favorite songs. Darnell said LOL. We're sure you're saying LOL, Darnell. I give myself space for the sadness.
Yeah, give yourself space for the sadness so that your emotion, because you don't want to cut yourself off from it, because you don't want to mitigate the process, because that's why we have so much addictions in our life. People have addictions because they want to cut themselves off from how they feel, because it is overwhelming to them. Sometimes feelings, and a lot of it is because when you were young growing up, you didn't have a person. It's interesting because babies do do the opposite, right? So have you ever seen a toddler? Have you seen a toddler get mad? What do they do when they get mad?
They like storm off, or
They're
like they
emotional.
start crying.
Yeah, they
start crying.
and they throw something. They're emotional. And so what a nice responsible adult would say is, you must be really angry. So a good, and it starts young. And so that's why it's important to make statements like that to children, especially toddlers who are just stepping into their body as human beings and trying to understand. They can't communicate how they feel. So they just act it all out in emotion. And so when they get angry, they throw things. And what a loving, understanding adult would say, oh, you must be really angry.
Yeah.
Because you don't have joy. And you say, oh, well, that's a good reason to be angry.
Yeah.
I would be angry too if I didn't have my toy. So it's important to connect as much as possible your feelings with the emotion, with the behavior. And it's in the problem why emotions can get out of control for a lot of us is that we need help regulating. So as toddlers need help regulating their emotion, they need to have a caring adult who's paying attention to them, who's, when they cry, that means they're sad or disappointed. You need to have an adult to say, oh my God, come here, let me help you. Someone to give them a hug, to pat their back. You as a parent or whoever is the primary caregiver for children growing up needs to be empathetic, because that creates, it really creates uh, an adult who can control their emotions, because they've had somebody to demonstrate that for them. Because little children and babies, when they cry, there's something wrong. Babies only cry when they're hungry or sleepy or uncomfortable in some way. And so you need to have someone who's responsive, because when they grow up, there'll be someone who can control their emotions, because they had a person early on help them regulate their emotions. And thus, when they get older, they'll be able to regulate their own emotions. And if you didn't have that growing up, it's not too late. You can start practicing. You can start practice. If you didn't have someone there for you, a trusted caretaker there for you to help you control your emotions when you were younger, you're probably difficult to get along with when you're older because you can't control your emotions, but you can do it for yourself. You can, there's things you can do, and you talked about it today, but the whole thing is whatever it takes for you to be in a relaxed body, so that you can look at how you feel and be able to connect how you feel with the behavior that you're doing, and the emotions that you want to express. And that's how you can emotions.
Okay. My crab brother, Fuller Field, okay, he knows exactly why I'm saying this. He says, I get mad because I was crying. I get mad because I was crying if I'm not careful. So it's definitely a skill. And earlier he says, I have to be careful sometimes because crying walks a thin line with anger. And I'm not going to lie, Dr. Alicia, like by the time I get to crying, I'm be upset. I'm like, why am I even here? Because my energy is normally at 10 and I'm a happy person. Also, T. Kurt said, it seems like this society don't accept men that cry, and it's almost as if we're weak and if we cry. That almost leads us to our next question, but do you want to comment on any of these things?
Crying, you release stress hormones when you cry. Tears have, scientists have analyzed tears, and tears have stress hormones in there. So really, crying really is therapeutic. And I think it's a shame, and we're getting away from this way of thinking where real men don't cry. I hope that we're getting away from that, because men are human beings. What is it? Men aren't robots. Like, they're human beings like all of us, and they should be allowed to cry in a safe space like anybody else. And so I think it's okay to shed tears, because it is your body's way. Shedding tears is your body's way of regulating yourself and releasing all of the cortisol in the brain that needs to be released so that you can be centered again.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I think that, so what we talking about, I just came in. Okay, let's do a small reset. Hey, everybody, y'all go ahead and just put some hearts in the chat. Just go ahead and show us some love.
Can I put
Send
some hearts?
No, not us, because we in it. Go ahead and
I'm
put
putting
some hearts
heart.
in it. And then go ahead and share this to like 3 people that need to come and talk about the state of Black love. And if they believe in Black love, tonight we are going to be talking about, like, do you believe in it? But one of the first things that we're going to talk about is like a hot topic. And that hot topic is that there's a devastating toll of men's loneliness. And that a lot of the headlines I've been seeing is that men are lonely. And I just want to know if y'all want to get vulnerable, if y'all don't. Are men lonely right now? Y'all used to have a lot of women, so I'm trying to figure out where the switch happened. In my opinion, I'm like, I thought that the options were so grand, but articles are proving that it seems that men are actually very lonely. So, Dr. Alicia, you want to go there on it?
I read that article and I love it because it speaks to the fact that men have a lot of options. They have way more options. Some people think, I don't think so, but I think all of us have options. But there are some people who argue that men don't want to settle down because they got too many options and they don't know which one to choose. And that's sort of the narrative. But the thing is that when you have a whole lot of women around that you can pick from, how is anybody going to know you? Just because you have a whole bunch of women around, you need the part of love is to be seen and to be seen and to see someone else and to have that sort of intimacy that comes with developing a relationship with that special person. And so if you just have a bunch of superficial here and there, that's a very lonely existence. And so I think this is what this is speaking to. Men may have 100 women around them, and if they are unseen, if they feel that the women only want them for one thing, or for money, or for security, or from these things that are very superficial, has nothing to do with who they are as a person, it is a very lonely existence. And I'm very happy that this study came out, and I hope there'll be some more follow-up studies to look at this a little better, to dig into this. But I'm all excited because there's no other group in the world that needs love than us in the Black community. So I'm happy that
Yes.
they're admitting this. You know, we've had so much hate given to us. Our whole existence in this country has been surrounded by all this hate, and we internalize a lot of that. And so love's in need of love, and I'm glad men are reporting this sense of loneliness, and maybe that'll be our first step to change some of the narrative, some of these terrible stereotypes that what manhood really means. Manhood means you're not supposed to cry, and manhood means you have to be promiscuous, and all of these definitions that I think we need to change about what truly manhood means. What do you say, Jazz?
I'm going to be honest. My perspective is always going to be just a little skewed because I studied engineering. I was like the 3 girls in the class with the 20 to 30 men. And I'm not going to lie, like, men pride themselves on how smart they are. They pride themselves on the money that they make. They pride themselves on, like, their accomplishments. But I would always try to search for the deeper meaning, and I would be like, are you really happy?
Mm-hmm.
Who cooking for you? Are you by yourself? Are you lonely? And they would like, dang, Jasmine, why you gotta ask me all this stuff?
Mm-hmm.
I would be like, that degree ain't gonna hold you at night.
Mm-hmm.
That money ain't gonna hold you at night. Y'all are sexual beings, like y'all like to say, I mean, you can please yourself in other ways, but at the end of the day, like, y'all are going to get to a point, especially like when you start hitting that 30s, you're like, oh, I'm going to reach a peak in my success if I don't have my life partner. Normally. So I can absolutely attest that men are probably lonely because they do have all the options, and because they do wait until they're 30 to like, oh, let me settle down. But like when you was in college, you had shorty over here who was loving on you and gave you what you needed, but you fumbled her because you had all the other shorties, right? So it's like, I think it may be a little piece of karma. Like, maybe you should be lonely because you couldn't really settle down until you was like at this age. And now you wonder, man, all the good girls are taken. Why now everybody want a hot girl summer and she just want me to take her out? Because the times have changed, because all of y'all was messing over the good ladies up in college, and they tired, and they like, we want what y'all want. Options. We want what y'all want. We want money too. We want what y'all want. Y'all don't want us. We don't want you either. So I see both sides of the fence. But, to be honest, this article that I'm reading right now, Dr. Alicia, It says men often don't have close friends. It says in heterosexual relationships, women often maintain friendships for the couple. It also says boys start out feeling as connected in their friendship as girls do, but they tend to neglect personal relationships as to pursue external success. So the more success a man reaches, the less likely he's going to pour into those relationships. Also, it says loneliness is correlated with longevity. It's a risk factor for health problems such as cardiovascular disease and stroke. So you mean to tell me you can literally have a stroke or a heart attack because your heart lonely? Really?
Yeah, I mean, and it amazes me. Number one, why there's this myth going on that the worst thing a man could do is get married. I really don't understand that. It really, marriage favors men so much in society. They make more money. They're more satisfied with their life. They're healthier. They have actually married men have the best sex lives than unmarried men. And so I don't know where that, and that's part of that intimacy. That's what they say. And I mean, over and over again, we find that married men make more money, all of that. And I think what some of the issues with men is that men feel like because there's so many to choose from that they don't even have to try hard. You know, they don't, why am I trying hard to make this relationship work? I can just end it and go get me someone else. And so I think that's why men are so lonely, is that they're not pushing themselves, because being in a relationship is going to require a man to grow, especially men, since we're hard. I don't even think we're hardwired. I think we've just been socialized and we're more adept at developing long-term relationships because of our friendships. But I think women, we're putting expectations on men, you know, for this emotional closeness, for, you know, transparency, for all of these aspects in a real relationship. We're putting that on men, and they have to stretch and grow in order to adhere or to meet these demands. I don't want to say demands, but to meet these expectations, they're falling short. And so that was another part in that article, I believe, that talked about that's the reason why men are being lonely, is because a lot of the women that they do decide to settle down with, is very difficult for them because they have to stretch themselves in order to, to fulfill the needs of women.
So you're basically saying they have to get out of their comfort zone in order to tap into their emotions. They have to put the same energy they put into their job as they will into their woman.
Yep.
We have some commenters. We have Christian, who is saying, I had the exact opposite experience. The closer I get to 30, the more I'd rather be by myself. Melody Daly, 1966, said, yes, you can die from a broken heart. We have D Nails. He said, maybe men are pushing for success so we can build our family. It takes a wise woman to recognize that innately we are providers and protectors. That needs to be understood. And then T. Kurt says, I agree. So, you know, I get what y'all are saying. I am hearing from men that have been aggressively applying to their goals for the last 30 to 40 years. They're saying, I want a soft life too. I literally had a black man tell me, I want a soft life too. I said, dang. So nobody want to work. Nobody really want to get the bag. Like, we just out here perpetrating like we want to get the bag, but we really all don't want to get the bag, because, like, I don't think a man comes out the womb like, where's my job, mom? Like, I don't think they are. I think they get told by society that you got to get a job, you got to do all this stuff. But, like, what if you don't want to do that and to the highest level? What if you want a simple life? What if you want a medium life, a large life? Like, I guess all those tiers come with different levels of stress. But I literally heard a man say he want a soft life. And I didn't say, you ain't a man. I said, you know what you want. Congrats, King. That's some emotional intelligence.
Mm-hmm. How did you feel? Did it make him more attractive to you or less attractive?
I felt more attracted because I was just like, he know what he want. He knows exactly what he feels. He has a heart. He has feelings. Like, women love feelings. Like, when I'm with a dude, I swear, like, yes, he can be attractive or not attractive, but if a man that's unattractive has feelings, he becomes sexy. I'm talking, woo. If he ain't got no feelings, I be like, ugh, toxic. Go get some feelings, my guy. I can't do it. Not gonna be able to connect. I'm an emotional person. I connect with your heart. If I connect with your heart, I'm gonna be honest, that makes the physical energy so much better. But if you don't got time to talk and you don't want to talk and you don't want to have feelings and you don't want to express yourself, I can't get with it because there's a level of vulnerability that I'm not going to be attached to because I'm naturally a vulnerable person.
Yeah, I love what you're saying, Jazz. And I think there's such a disconnect between what men think we want and what we say we really want. Men think, okay, if I pay the bills and I put clothes on your back and food on the table, what else you want from me? Leave me alone. Let me sit on the couch.
Right. Like, that's weird. It's giving weird.
It is, and it's so funny because a lot of them are in my office, and they just, oh, what more does she want from me? And the woman is sitting there miserable because she's lonely. She's lonely. She needs somebody that she can connect with and talk to and so forth, and she doesn't have that. So yeah, absolutely, there is a huge disconnect, especially now in today's relationships. Like we don't live in a commune.
But
elsewhere. Mm-hmm.
I guess for me, like, I'm more attracted to if you want to be that protector and provider, and that's what makes you genuinely happy, that means that by the time you get home, you got such a smile on your face because you love the work that you do. Half of the men that's providing hate their job. And after they hate their job, then they come home, they like, ugh, look at her. Now she just ready to talk. I already didn't want to go. Like, I think if you actually love what you do, which is very hard and honestly sometimes unachievable in today's society, if you love what you do, then it creates this harmony of course, I'm going to provide naturally because I love what I'm providing for, and I'm going to protect you, queen. I don't want nothing to happen to you, boo. You're fine. You good. I love you. Mwah. But it's because you already woke up in a posture of I genuinely love my life, because I don't think you can give more if you don't love you. You can't love me more than you love you. And if what you deal with day in and day out you don't love, you can't love me. I don't care how much protecting and providing you want to do.
Oh, that is so great. I think it's nothing. It's even if you have a job that you don't like, you should be able to still come home and be pleasant to your spouse.
That's nice to have.
Or be able to come home and be able, no matter what kind of job, even the best job in the world, you're always going to have stress. So it's so nice to have a lovely place where you can come home and rest your head, where you can just let it all out and say, let me tell you what happened to me today.
Okay, now I got a question, Dr. Alicia.
Uh-huh.
This man said a woman that brings a man peace just makes us go harder. Okay, I get you, Mr. Want Peace. Mm-hmm. I think the disconnect too is men are working 9 to 5 or 10 to 5 or however long. Women are working 9 to 5. Then she come home, she got to provide peace, a meal, and some sex. She tired.
I think it's so funny. I hear a lot of men talk about how they just want peace in their lives. But then when you start looking at their lives, they create a whole bunch of chaos and don't want to be accountable for it. So I'm thinking that if you want peace in your life, you got to exude peace. If you're finding that you're not having peace in your life, take a look and think about, are you transparent? Is your word your bond? Are you not able to hold yourself accountable to some of the things that you said you were going to do? I can't tell you how many people, and I'm not even talking about husbands, I'm talking about husbands, wives, boyfriends, girlfriends, everybody across the board. I always talk about how they want peace, but they never want to give peace. They want to start up a whole bunch of commotion in their relationships. They're unstable. Their emotions are not regulated. They can be cranky and angry. And then as soon as they create all this chaos, And then they turn around talking about they want peace. Well, what was your contribution to all of this chaos in the first place? So a lot of it is really taking responsibility for your own behavior and being able to say, I'm sorry, or be able to see your part in the fact that peace is not happening around you. I mean, if you want peace, you got to give peace.
Wow. I mean, she said something there, y'all.
Mm.
I'm going to be honest. She said, if you want peace, you got to give it. How do we have more peaceful lives in the Black community?
Oh my goodness. I really do think it takes so much compassion. There's so much hate going on the internet. I'm being, Jasmine, you know my story. I'm so new. I can't even believe I made it on Instagram. You sent me y'all don't know. Jasmine had to help me figure out how I joined someone on IG Live. Like, I am so like not up on technology. So I've been living my life in this little bubble, with my kids and work and the stuff I do. But once I'm starting to become exposed to all of the different ways of thinking, I'm really, really surprised at all of the chaos that's happening on social media, and some of the nastiness that I see and some of the hateful comments that people make. There's no compassion between Black people at all. You make one mistake and it's all online and everybody hates you and trash talk you. I've never seen so much hate and trash talk on the internet as I have in the past 5 or 6 years. And I don't see enough empathy. I don't see enough understanding. Understanding someone's behavior is not the same as excusing it, because consequences are consequences, but we should at least be able to look back on it. And I also think that self-compassion is important too. Give yourself the love and compassion that you need. You're going to make a mistake. That's just your life as a human being, is to make a mistake. And I find that a lot of that is missing in way more segments of social media than there needs to be. And so I'm hoping, Jasmine, that me and you, we add to some of this compassion. Maybe it'll grow, like compound interest. It will grow, and this,
Sure. We trying with our compound interest.
Huh?
I said, we trying with our compound interest. We got Darnell or D-Nails. He said, peace trumps almost anything. Understanding equals peace. Peace comes when folks live their life and stay out of others. There's too much access to information and misinformation. Very little trust in our community, amongst others. Nobody wants to give grace.
Mm-hmm. It's so true. Everybody just wants to, because and there's no time. It's like whatever thought immediately comes to your head, you don't even have time to filter that thought. You can just go right on social media, turn on YouTube, and just let it all out without even actually stopping yourself and thinking about the impact that your words are having, and all of the hatred that's spread, based on, there's people who have an entire channel just based on bashing men. I'm just here and I'm gonna bash men, and I'm gonna have and for some reason that gets the most views, and then we all know there's a lot of channels. It's already specifically set up on talking down on Black women, and making categorical statements about an entire group of people. Like, there's all of these things, and people think it's funny, people think it's hilarious, but it's very harmful. And I'm sorry, this sort of myths about what manhood means and what feminine means. Like, feminine, like, come on, like, women give birth. Ain't nothing soft about giving birth, okay? So women soft, but I've had 3 children. I've given birth to 3 human beings. There's nothing soft and feminine about that. You feel it takes a lot of hardness to be able to do that. And so, I think, like, we're putting all of these expectations on everybody, and we're not seeing each other and ourselves by who and what we really are.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Alicia, to be honest, you say so much to a point where I just got to sit there and take it in, because I don't think that our parents had this level of access to information which
Mm-hmm.
means they raised us a certain way. So we're accustomed to certain things that is not peaceful. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't graceful. And to
Mm-hmm.
be honest, it didn't allow for you to be your full authentic self, even to be forgiven when you make the mistakes. So it's just like, yeah, in a perfect world, it seems like what you're saying, we need that, but there's so much unlearning that we have to
Mm-hmm.
do in a Black community in order to have the Black love that we so eloquently follow when somebody's kissing on the gram or on a trip, and this babe goes and relationship goes, and it's a goal just to be next to a man or a woman, or a man and a man on a woman, or a woman, whatever your case may be. It'd be a goal just to have a picture on Instagram if that thing don't get taken down within the first 6 months. So it's almost like, how, I guess, before we start answering questions from the audience, how do we know what's right? Where's the standard for Black excellence and Black love? Because I'm gonna be honest, just now learning about femininity, just now learning about masculinity, just now learning about all the stuff, and it came from the unpopular opinions that was floating around. But like, what's the standard? I genuinely don't have the standard for like, oh, this is a good man, I can invite him into my life, he won't screw me over and also won't make me worse or more toxic and call me like. And then for men, this is a sound woman. I think the matchmaking, like, you need to take a test if you're ready to date. You've gone through education, you've gone through some processes, you're at this level, you can now have a boyfriend and matchmake that.
Yeah, I think there is a certain level of balance you need to have in order to start dating. I also think that even if you don't really have it, and I'm not making excuses for anybody, but even if you don't have it, you can get it through another person. You know, you can heal through another person if you allow yourself and commit yourself, and it's going to take work to find someone that you feel comfortable with being vulnerable with them, you know, where you're able to, even if you do make a mistake, you can have a decent conversation with someone about it. You know what? I really went off the other day. I was not in a good mood. Here's what happened to me. Tell a story about what happened and how it reminded you of something that happened to you earlier in your life. Like, make that a learning moment, a moment where your partner can figure out who you are, and it can be received in a way that's in a place that's beautiful. So it really takes a high level of respect that you have to commit yourself to. And really, if you fall below that, you really do need to know that you can apologize for that. And it doesn't mean it's a catastrophe. It doesn't mean you're bad because you apologize for something that you've done. You behaved in a way that was rude. You need to be able to own up to it. It doesn't mean that you are a rude person. You behaved in this way and you can do better. So it does take that level of commitment. I mean, you know, part of it is just recognizing that our need for love and affection even exceeds our need for food. You know, they've done studies on, yeah, they've done studies on this where they've had monkeys in a room, and on one side of the room they had food and water, and on another side of the room there was a nice cuddly warm place to kind of snuggle up with and lay your head down. And they had baby monkeys in the room. The baby monkeys didn't care about the food and the water. They went over and repeatedly wanted to be snuggled, wanted to be held, wanted to be have a nice warm place to lay their head down. So even monkeys know better. And I don't think we're that different. We know that infants can't thrive unless they've been held. You can give them food, water, clothing, shelter. They will die if they're not held, if they're not loved, if they're not rocked to sleep. If you don't pay attention to an infant and give them just food, what we think basic necessities are, they will die. It's called failure to thrive.
I got a
So
question.
just realize that it's
Go.
way more important than we think it is. Mm-hmm.
So you said something, Dr. Alicia. You said it's okay to help someone heal. Where's the boundary on that? Because sometimes
Yeah.
other people healing can hurt. I
Yeah.
need. Hey, this healing it hurt me. Woo! You need too much healing. What
Yeah.
percentage of the healing can I really do? And I'm not a licensed therapist, and I'm not somebody
Yeah.
that's meant to handle trauma, more trauma.
Yeah, I really do think if you're with somebody that's not committed to that process, it's not a good situation. And we know that terrible relationships is not only do people live longer in good relationships, but awful relationships can make you live shorten your life to a high level, um, you know, a very high level. It will. I think it shades like 20 years. A very toxic marriage can take about 20 years off your life. I think that's the latest study that I saw. So it is important to have a quality relationship. That is important. And the thing is that if you're with somebody that's not committed to that, even though all of us are injured, all of us have something, we all have baggage. But if you're with somebody that's not committed to that process, I think, sometimes it's time to hit the road.
You know something, Dr. Alicia? I can't wait to experience your matchmaking services through some type of app so that it can be done at scale because
Who's
I'm
going
going
to do
to
that? Are you creating an app? I need somebody to
I
create
already
it.
got the app. I'll send it to you. I already got the app. I already got the phases of it, the tracks. Like I'll send it to you. But I dreamed of it last week. I wrote it on paper. Like I already got it. I already got how this makes so much sense from like to compete with Tinder, to compete with Facebook, to compete with all this stuff. Like it needs to come from a place of education, and then it needs to come from a place of I am putting y'all together and go try it based off what we feel.
Okay.
Why
All right.
not? I think all the other cultures be getting hooked up. Blacks
They
be
do.
trying out here to pick. We pick wrong. We be picking all up. Ooh, maybe you. Maybe you. No, maybe somebody that can vouch for you and vouch for you say, come on over. Indian marriages last longer. Like, in my opinion, I did do some research, Hispanic relationships, they gotta be lasting too, but then I don't got the full extent. I do think, white,
Girl,
you know, I know it ain't all perfect,
don't
but
think that's in another, and that's another thing. Like, don't think. I've heard another narrative about black women aren't worthy of being married. Okay, fine, go marry someone else, another black person. The grass is not greener. The problems will always be there. It's not determined by the group that you're in. If you have a hard time dating African American women, you're gonna have a hard time dating African women. You're gonna have a hard time dating Caribbean women and Hispanic women. I mean, the relationship issues are real, and I think we need to stop with this whole stereotype of thinking that those other relationships aren't better, because actually, I'm a numbers girl. I have a master's degree in statistics, so I love the numbers. Okay.
better.
Huh? Yeah, girl. I took 18 credit hours in stats. So I understand what that means, but what data is telling a lot of researchers, they've been writing a lot about this, is that those relationships do not last at all. Those well, it can, but not so much. Those relationships have a higher rate of divorce than than you would think, and so that's fine. Go ahead and think the grass is greener and
I'm gonna
go on.
stick with the blacks. I'm gonna stick with the
Yeah,
blacks. I'm gonna die trying. I'm gonna die trying.
yeah. But a lot of black women do die trying, and it's unfortunate because black women, we're just way more loyal. We really are. We way more loyal. We love our black men, and the numbers is telling us we love them more than they love us. I'm just telling you what the
Dang. Well, Dr. Alicia, are you ready to open up the floor so people can come and ask their relationship questions?
Oh
They
yeah.
can ask you questions. You all, we're ready for you. At the end of every month, we're gonna do a free for all. You come on up. You ask us questions. We're literally not gonna bite you because we're through a phone. So, like, please, come up. Request. You can come up and ask us questions, and it could be about anything. It could be about trauma. It could be about therapy. It could be about Black love. We're really trying to get a gauge of what you all need. And then on top of that, like, if you just got a comment on Black women gonna die trying, that was hilarious on so many levels. Like, that was so deep. Like, we gonna literally die trying to love a Black man. We can literally die trying to love a Black man, and we can also literally die trying to love a Black man. It's so heavy, it's so deep, it's poetic almost. So does anybody want to come up here? Alicia,
Yeah.
you're on this live. Come up here. Oh, not you, Dr. Alicia.
Oh, another Alicia.
It's another, her name Twin Nation on Instagram. Come up here, sis. I know you may have something to talk about. She is also born in the same month that you're born. She's one of my good friends. She has a lot to say about Black love. So if nobody has nothing to say, do y'all want to submit questions? You can literally put your questions in the box and we can answer them. But y'all, don't act shy now. You know you got something you need to ask somebody about your relationship. That stuff be a little funny. Some stuff you need some answers to.
I don't know how to work this. Man, I don't know how to. Wait, White Flame. Let's say hi, Miss D Fit.
Hello, y'all. Come up here. Request to come up if you have questions.
I don't know how to get it. I saw a comment that I thought was really good, but I don't know how to get
it. It says, no lies told, Dr. Alicia. The data doesn't last, especially since there's cultural differences and nuances.
Yeah, the cultural differences, it's hard to overcome that, actually. Well, you know what? I'm going to find the study because I think I have it in front of me. Hold on. Go on to the next question. I think I'm going to find it.
Yeah, I'm literally inviting Mr. D Nails up here. Why not, Mr. D Nails? You've had a lot to communicate about. We would love to hear you on Instagram Live today. Really go forward with your thoughts publicly through social media. If not, I'm going to just go down the list and I'm going to just invite everybody. Why not? There may be too many at the same time, but I really want to talk to some people.
They don't want to participate like that.
Okay. Y'all just want to hear about my business. That's all. Y'all just want to come over here and hear my drama life. I'll give you some drama.
Stop, Jasmine. Is your life really dramatic?
No, it's a joke. I'm being sarcastic, Dr. Alicia. I'm being sarcastic. Nobody wants to come? Oh, Mr. D Nails is unavailable to join. Shocking. What do y'all think about, what are your not even what are your standards? What are some of your deal breakers? No, that's not our question for tonight. Are biracial, particularly Black and white married couples, based on love or some type of networking to achieve goals? Dr. Alicia, that's all for you.
Wait, what question? What was the question again?
Didi,
are Black or
basically, are biracial married couples based on actual love or just some type of networking to achieve career goals?
Oh, no. I think they really love each other. Don't you? Have you ever seen? I've seen interracial couples together. They seem to really love each other. I think it's really genuine.
Mr. D Nails is gonna come up. Are we excited?
Is he coming in?
He's coming in hot. Let's see if Mr. D Nails will go ahead and come in hot. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if those relationships are really real, but if they are, by God's grace, keep them.
Are you? Who is it? You know what? You need to stop. How you doing?
How's it going, Mr. D Nails?
Hello. You know what? I really appreciate what you guys are doing. This is great. I think you guys started off with male loneliness. I think that is a real thing. You invited me to speak. I really don't have anything to talk about. I was just cooking,
Are
and
men
I'm
lonely?
cooking all the time.
Wait,
You
who
know,
you
Oh,
cooking for?
how does it
because
feel
you
to
know
cook
what? I
alone?
don't have a woman to cook for. I don't got nobody else to cook for me.
So you
So
just coped. Are you just coping with the loneliness by just doing it yourself?
now I think I'm coping with being busy all the time. Like I'm working. I just finished working.
Oh,
And you know what I'm saying? Just doing extra stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
it's
so
like 10 o'clock where you at, right?
yeah, I'm at home working.
You just worked all day and night.
I took a break. I took a break and then I said, you know what? Let me come in here and cook some salmon and some stuff.
Okay,
And
salmon.
yeah, but I think you guys like touched on a lot of stuff that's like um a lot of topics that a lot of men and women, I mean, these are like real sensitive issues. Like, and I think you guys are really on point of what you're doing because I think we do need a platform where we can come together. There's so much negativity and toxicity out there that's pulling us apart. I know, just like Dr. Alicia said, there's a lot of people who are like monetizing. Oh, I'm about to burn my food. They're monetizing my vegetables. They're monetizing toxicity. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, bashing all women, generalizing all men, all women. So I think this is great. A platform. That's what we need. Facilitating a way for us to come together. I really don't have any questions though.
So wait,
Can we question you? Can we
Sure, for sure.
pick your brain?
why are you single?
Why are you single?
I'm putting you on the spot.
I think love, and I think when you find someone who's real, I think it's a spiritual thing. I don't think you could just pick and choose the time for it to just happen, even though it may look good on paper. I think it just comes with like understanding. I think the season I am in my life, the transition I have, like I got a couple things lined up, and it just takes the right person just to understand all the complexities of all the stuff that I got going on. So, like, I don't want to begin to tell you all the stuff that I'm doing and attempting to do within the next like 3 weeks, but it's a lot. So for me, I mean, it'd be great for me to have someone, but they have to understand that like, hey, this is gonna be like a setup. This is gonna be like a setup for a long time. And I can't drop the ball. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Why am I single? I don't know. It's kind of like if I knew it, I wouldn't be single. How about that?
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions? I'm just one man. I ain't all of them. I can't
We
represent
know
everybody.
we're not gonna come to this conversation like two. If another man wants to join, we would love to do 2-on-2. I have a lot of
Mhm.
men peers that follow me. I think your perspective, Darnell, is you building something. You got a legacy that you're trying to do, and you got things that you're working on. And a lot of times, Steve Harvey said it. We can disagree with the man that said it if y'all want, but I think what he said made sense. There are some men that are gonna wait until they got their career, then they'll go find love. There are some men that are okay with building with somebody, and then there are some men that's gonna be like your uncle. He ain't gonna never have nobody. He good. He is good. So it's like just knowing that. How old is Mr. Darnell? Mr. Darnell seems like we're interested in the age of you. How old are you,
Who
Mr.
asked
Darnell?
that? Somebody asked?
Yes, Mellow Daily, 1966.
Okay.
Mellow Daily.
Mello's
Hey,
interested, Darnell.
hey, Mellow. I am 45 years old.
Okay. Mello is like, I don't see the comment. I don't know how to see comments.
You gotta like pull it up, doctor. Can you ask your husband to just come help you point the thing on the thing?
See, this is what I got going on.
Hold
And I
on,
can
mister.
cook.
And he needs help. Okay, okay, look at that.
Look
He's
at this.
looking.
I got the
Okay,
sandwich going on. You know what I'm saying? I got.
okay. Do you need, the thing is, do you really do, most times if a man can do it all himself, you really don't need a woman. It's okay if you don't need
No,
help.
I'm an excellent cook, but I don't want to do it every day. You know what I'm saying?
So
I
what
should.
do you need help
What you call it? Like meal prep, but it takes organization. I need some help.
Oh,
I need
Miss
help.
Melody,
I admit,
Miss
I need
Mellow
help.
Daily. Oh, you need help. Miss Mellow Daily said, I'm 56. He is in my demographic, plus I'm a boss Jamaican cook. Seems like,
Oh,
potential interests.
okay, all right,
You putting them
all right. So
now.
this is turned into like the hookup dating
Why
show then.
not? What better place under the therapy guidance?
Yeah. Okay.
I think this is really good. I think we can ask real good boundary questions. Why not? We're never
Yeah.
going to learn unless we try. But also, I have a question. So, or just like, this is another topic. A lot of times we're not getting in relationships or we get in relationships, but technically we don't need the person. Like, why get something if you don't need them, right? Like, why get a job and that job just signs you up and you get paid and you don't do nothing? You're going to get bored. You're going to get uninterested. You're going to be like, I wish that I had something to do. So if you have outsourced all of the things that a woman could do, the drive for it probably will decrease because you technically are eating good, you're sleeping well. I mean, you don't need nobody. So it ain't gonna come to you. Think about it.
So this comes at a cost. Like, it's 10 o'clock Eastern time. You know what I mean? Like, I shouldn't be eating this late. You know what I mean? This could have happened hours ago. So it's not. I don't have it all together. This is not ideal. You know what I mean? This is survival. Eating at 10 o'clock at night, then gotta wake up in the morning. That's not good. That's not healthy. So I don't have it all. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Just because you can do something doesn't mean it's the best thing for you to do
But I
with
want
your
to ask
time.
you, just giving to know like the age. I don't think that anybody's so old. Like we're all just getting started, and God gave us life today, so we don't know tomorrow. At what age will you prioritize getting help with your schedule and getting help with what time you eat? At what age will you be able to say, maybe I should sacrifice something here so I can get my needs met here? At what age? What age?
Like right now, like yesterday. I think this is just a phase that I'm going through.
It's
This is like
phase.
this
Dr.
past,
Alicia
like, I would
helps
say
with
5 weeks, 4 or 5 weeks. It's been tough and rough for me. So,
right.
I, you know, I haven't to make a decision on like when will I need help, like seeking or whatever. I'm ready right now.
Dr. Alicia, I think you can help with the phase part. He said he's in a phase. I don't specialize in phases, so maybe you can help with phases. Also, there is somebody in here that says I can be vetted by Dr. Alicia when she comes back to ATL. Me and Mr. Darnell could have coffee and conversations and solidify you may be a partner and wife.
You don't need me to do. Wait, who is she? Tell her to come on.
Mella Daly, 1966.
Bring her on.
Oh, come on up. Come on, Mella Daly. Come on, baby. Come get you some. Come on up here, Melody.
Do we need to do this?
Hold on, you already sacrificing. You might as well sacrifice some more. Why not? You needed it yesterday. No better time than today. Hello, how's it going?
Yeah, we're
Can y'all see me?
Mellow.
No, you
You're
gotta
also
turn the
goofy.
camera around a little bit.
Oh, hold on.
Yes, ma'am. You got this. All right.
You,
How's it going,
you,
Miss
you
Miller
all are
Daly?
so goofy.
Who? Me?
You, you and Dr. Alicia and Mr. Darnell. Y'all so goofy.
No.
I'm, I'm just here minding my own business, listening
You
to the
minding it, Dr.
conversation.
Look, Miller Daly, you minding your business. You want some coffee and conversations. You got some business to mind today.
That's what I get for being too nosy.
Mm-hmm.
No, I was just enjoying the conversation and just, I just wanted to engage, to really hear what the conversation, and he was really telling his truths and really talking what he is really feeling, which some men I think may not be able to express.
Mm-hmm.
He's there cooking salmon at 10 o'clock when, he could have been done, eat, ready for bed, got
Let's be
some jerk
clear.
salmon with some sauteed vegetables from 7 o'clock.
I could have been eating anything like a hot pocket or something, right?
Let's be
But
clear.
No,
We're
but we don't want
grown.
the process. We don't want the processed food. But we're talking,
right,
you
exactly.
were really talking from, expressing really what I think some other people were scared to say. To say, listen, if you can find a real woman who will be patient, who will be kind, to understand what I have, these projects that, maybe taking place. I'm not going to say that you're not priority, but in order for us to move forward, is it okay that I will have to direct some of the attention or time to these projects, which will move us forward? It's like you're taking a step back to move forward, if I'm understanding.
Yeah, and that's what it is. It's about understanding. Like, I think we're all at a place, like, this is not a fact of life that I'm always going to be super busy and stuff like that. It's just a
Right.
phase. So just understand where the person is at right now. And it's like, oh, okay, I see where he's at. Just don't have to judge. It's not like how it's going to be forever.
Correct. That's what I think the part of partnership and marriages, it's about sacrifice. So that may be something as part of a sacrifice that you and your partner, right? Dr. Alicia, I'm not married. I've never been married. And I think that is a lot of what I'm seeing, where nobody wants to make a sacrifice and nobody wants to make it. It has to be a short-term sacrifice. You don't want to feel the burn. Just like when you're trying to lose weight. If you're losing weight, it's going to be over a period of time. It's going to be a period of sacrifice. It's going to be a period of denying certain fleshly. Like, I love Checkers seasoned fries. I had to almost beat myself over the head yesterday to drive past Checkers. So that's not good. But I know my booty is too big.
Well, for the right man, it may be the right size, baby.
Listen, hush your mouth. Hush your mouth. You talking too much stuff.
And what I really wanted to say, because this is grown TV, we grown up here. I'm not 5. We in our 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s on this call. I wanted to say, Mr. Darnell could probably be getting him some tonight instead of in the kitchen.
That's right. Maybe I might cook Mr. Darnell some jerk salmon next time.
Oh,
He gonna
wow.
really get some salmon.
Wow.
Do he really
My
want
goodness.
that fish, or he want another kind of,
Ready.
Listen, I promised myself I'll never cook for another man. He won't even know I know of my way around a stove until he put a ring on my finger.
Understood.
I made that mistake. Oh no. You can have it.
Can I ask a question on that? Because we have you both single in your 40s and 50s, you know, do you still think all of those rules apply at that age bracket where it's like I have to wait and all these? Y'all ain't tired of waiting already? You ain't
No,
tired of
no,
waiting?
no. It's even more applicable now. No,
Okay,
because no boyfriend getting no husband privileges. I learned that the rough way. I came up on the rough side of the mountain. No, no. It
Dr.
for
Alicia,
me,
do you got
it's
any?
applicable. For me,
Dr.
it's
Alicia, you have
applicable.
anything about sex before marriage? Any thoughts of that? I have my own thoughts that I
It's not only sex, it's other privileges that husbands, if you're a husband, that your wife, you know, under the covenant would be very honored to to do, and vice versa. What's good for the goose is good for the gander, but you can chime in, Dr. Alicia.
You know, I don't want to say that one way is and one way isn't, because it sounds too judgmental. So I don't want to be judgmental. I just have to be however you choose to operate in your relationship. It has to be something that you're comfortable with, that the other person is comfortable with. Like, I don't give people rules. You know, as a therapist, I don't tell couples what I facilitate so that they can decide how they want their marriage to operate. And it really is different for everybody. But it has to be something everybody's on board with. And so if you like it, I love it. I say so, but it has to be something that you're comfortable with. Yes, Jasmine.
Well, Dr. Alicia don't get to be like that, but I got some stuff to say. Here's what I got to say. I think that men date for completely different reasons than women date. And women marry for completely different reasons than men marry. And from my engineering dudes and the men that I done been in class with, what they say, I ain't about to get with no woman and give her a ring and I ain't seen a little something. She ain't cooked a little something. That's only a small percentage though, right? I can't give you all the men, but it was like this channel that got a lot of traction and a lot of men was in the comments saying yes. And pretty much it was like, why I got to wait on certain things, but then as soon as I give you, I gotta spend X amount and X amount and X amount. So it's like men, they've been doing it differently than women. And we be having all these rules, and they be like, well, you got all these rules, and she ain't got all these rules, so I'm choosing her. Now, I'm not here to say that one way is better than the other way. I'm just saying that the percentage of people that's gonna do all of that and it still not be toxic at the end may be a lot lower. And what I mean by that, like, we can look at Devon Franklin them. They waited, they went on a world tour. I'm talking, they spread a fit message and whatever. I'm not speaking negatively about them. I'm just saying that dating gives you data. I ain't saying have sex with every person you with. I ain't saying cook for every man. But if he's showing you signs in which he is a part of maybe the framework or structure in which you would want in your life, by
Right.
very nature, if you could give the wrong dude the stuff, but can you give the right man the stuff? You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
we all know the girl that done gave the bad guy some booty in 2 days. Then the guy that gonna do all the good stuff, he gotta wait 10 years.
Got you. And you know what, Jazz? That's why I'm in therapy.
With trust. And it sounds like issues.
Because I'm just taking my time and uncoiling. I'm just uncoiling.
You got my bun leaning. You got my bun leaning.
That's good. That's good. Yes, I'm so wound up tight from
I'm
all
just
those, from being an almost sex worker to a laundress to a chef to a housekeeper for a you know who ninja, that I had to put myself through the
first.
process.
You
Yes,
had
so
to
I'm
put yourself. You
unwinding
finally put yourself first. That's what I'm here.
first. Yes, so it's not that etched in stone to say that it's not going to be, um, you know, somebody won't taste my hand. We say Jamaica, you know, the hand that rocks the cradle, rule the world, but the hand that cooks the skillet, you know. But it will take some time, but the right person will find the right code. The right person will find the pin and will be able to punch that pin in, and that cash will just come out because it's going to be genuine. It's going to be authentic. It's not going to be something where you're going to keep pressing the wrong pin. It
I,
will be organic.
Mhm, mhm,
I feel that the right person is there,
mhm.
but that is where we have to be mindful and have discretion and exercise wisdom and see how you basically have to qualify people. There's a lot of qualifying that you can do in order to know if you're taking the right path. So that's why I have allowed myself to take time away from relationships to really discover that I am really high value. And high value don't have nothing to do with finance because I don't have the money. So Mr. Darnell, I don't have the money. I just raise 5 sons. Okay.
she
So
got the
I don't have the
pin,
money.
not the
That's why
money. She
that's
got
why
the
that's why I log on to Dr. Boyce every day. Me and I'm sorry, Dr. Alicia. I just love Dr. Boyce. Dr. Boyce always be cussing and I just be loving it. So that part, because Dr. Boyce is just wild.
I should go
He
find
just wild.
somewhere.
I know
Yeah.
he's somewhere. He's probably doing a live somewhere now.
No, he
But
just
anyway,
not too long.
Yeah,
Heard some noise.
Dr. Boyce is
He's thinking
cool
about.
people.
He's probably.
I need to spend like a whole week in Jamaica with Dr. Alicia and Dr. Boyce. Can you just
We did back in 2017. We were in Jamaica for a long time. We were there for quite a
No,
bit.
but this time you have to go with me. So we can do, go to my home, everything.
Man, we were all over the place. We were in Denham Town. We spent time in Denham Town.
In Denham Town. Okay, so you were in the Wild West. Okay.
I'm about to get my charger. I'm about to get my charger while y'all discuss the Wild Wild West. My phone.
Yeah, yeah, but seriously, it's not anything etched in stone. It's just where sometimes you feel like you got dealt a bad hand and you're just trying to recover from it. So, I am here for all the black love, and I'm here for all the niceties and the soft life. And we just have to be kind to each other. We are not kind to each other. We have black women will be the first ones to cuss another black woman out. Black men kill each other. So that's what the enemy wants. They don't want us to prosper. They don't want us to multiply.
I wholeheartedly agree. I agree.
So they're like, we don't need to do anything. There's so much infighting in the commune. They can eradicate themselves, period, without anything.
So why do you think we fight each other so much?
Well, I think we fight each other so much because we were taught to fight each other as a way of getting favor from the master. But it also has to do with where we have not been separation. Once there's separation, there's division. So we were not in a society who would be saying, okay, there's strength in numbers. We have a lot of mistrust, first and foremost, amongst each other. And there is a lot of misinformation that we have certain predisposed ideas. Like, you know, I'm Jamaican. I think that I'm a weed smoker. No, I don't smoke weed. I never smoked weed. You know, not every Black person was grown up in projects or in ghetto. So
Right.
there has been a lot of brainwashing. There's been a lot of infighting. There's a lot of propaganda. You know, growing up in Jamaica, we weren't taught to love Black Americans. No, that was one of the worst things you could ever do.
Especially
But
Haitian
why?
like me.
Yes, ça passait, right?
Yeah.
Maboule. So
Yeah.
it's like, come on. There is a lot of things that if you can divide and conquer, they don't have nothing. Don't give them any idea of unity because there's strength in numbers. So that is our biggest downfall. We don't have a sense of economic unity. We don't have a sense of pride. We don't take care of our communities. If we don't take care of our children, we don't take care of our elderly, we're not going to be solid.
I think you brought up a great point, and I think like what they're doing is facilitating like unity, because at the center of unity is family and then community, and then it expands off of that. But at the center of unity is like love. You know what I mean? Because our families are so broken apart, all this stuff that we're talking about. And I think what they're doing is facilitating that's actually the love part, you know, because, you know, I talk about like, oh yeah, men, we providers, protect all this kind of stuff and trying to get money and all that kind of stuff. But at the center of unity, as far as like is like dealing with the love part. We have love issues. We don't love ourselves. We don't love each other. We don't love people who look like us. And
They don't.
that's a
And we
serious
don't trust.
that's a serious issue that's being addressed.
Right. But there's also the let me not quote Dr. Boyce, but that's why when he speaks on Wednesdays about powernomics, that, you know, Black love is Black wealth. And it's not only from, oh, you know, being a couple, you know, that power couple. I don't like that.
Me either.
Right.
I want the power community. I want the power community. You know,
Families make communities, but you need strong families first. Then
correct.
families
Correct.
make communities.
So that's why he tells you follow the numbers, follow the money, right? So when you have a brother who is stepping out with another race, his wealth is following him. Anything happen, if something pop off with that him and that family, we've seen it time and time again. That wealth now is returned to the master. It is gone to her family.
Yep.
It's not going to stay in their biracial child is going to benefit a little portion of it, but the majority of it is gone out of the community just like that because he was married to that woman. So that's part of the economic structure that people will say, oh, you know, you have to be intentional. If you want to marry a Black woman or a Black man, you have to be intentional. And it's not just preference. Your preference is not only because you like her for she has a nice braid hair. You have to be intentional to marry a black man or a black woman in these times. You're gonna say, listen, I can't have more children, okay? But I have black sons, all of them. Okay? I would like that my parents, the legacy that they handed down, that it continues in that vein. I would pray and hope. And I mean, I'm not trying to say, oh, she has to use the same comb that I use. I don't have no hair, my head bob. Okay? But I'm just saying that we need to keep the money amongst us, and we keep giving it away so easily, and we keep giving away our resources so easily.
Yeah.
You know, nobody has to cajole us to give it away. We just hand it to them. So if we can be intentional and purposeful in making sure that we are loving each other, then we will have made a great step for mankind. That's me personally. And we as Black women, we have fought for everybody under the sun. Dr. B!
Man, how y'all doing?
Doing good, doing good.
We're discussing Black love.
What a good topic. A very important topic.
Great topic.
I'm in love with these Twizzlers I'm eating. I see y'all later.
Black love right
That's
there.
what I'm talking about. There you go, Dr. Boys.
Bye-bye.
How'd your thing go today?
Bye, Dr. B.
Good. Okay.
One thing that I love about Dr. Alicia, when I met her, she was like, I'm so excited to see him talk. And like when
I
she
know.
be around him, she be like, how did your thing go? Like she's so interested in everything he got going on. And that's what I think when you are doing purposeful work, you gotta have a partner that's like, I'm into what you do. I'm liking, commenting, subscribing. I'm joining, even when it's bad messages over here, baby. I'm gonna be the good message for you. And Dr. Alicia, she be giving me them vibes. She was like, I love my husband. I just be like, yes, girl.
Yes. But you know what? The great thing, it is mutual.
Yeah.
It is very mutual and it's very sincere. I don't care what nobody want to tell me. He be gassing her up.
And baby, can't nobody go nowhere on E. So if you can't gas me up, the tank won't be low. We gotta go find another gas station. Yes, we love.
Listen. And we're talking some premium petrol. Okay.
Look, it may not have to be premium because gas high.
Well, guess what? That's what the love will do.
Car. Give me some energy.
Well, don't get me going, but
Too funny.
but listen, but that's my little 2 cents. That's my little 2 cents.
Okay. Well, thank you. For your 2, girl, you gave 2. I feel like it was 10 cents. It was worth good 10 cents. It wasn't worth good 2.
Well, listen, it's a pleasure.
And y'all gotta come back with us on next Tuesday. What are we talking about, Jasmine?
Yes. So what Dr. Alicia, she swears that we haven't done any content planning. She just puts me out so bad. She just swears we just get on here and just freestyle.
Let me see if I can find the spreadsheet.
Yeah, I'm about to find it right now. I got my iPad. We have 2022. Let's see. I'm getting it. I'm getting it.
I'm gonna try to find it.
I found it fast.
Oh, did you?
So, mhm. So so far we've covered It's Your Birthright for Black Love. We've covered Do You Believe in Black Love? Last week we had to do an intermission because I experienced some energy from the other races. Also, next week is Should You Hire a Matchmaker? That's what next week's topic is. And then after that is the state of the Black family. I don't know, Mr. D Nails, if you would like to come on back, because I think that's a topic near and dear, you know, when you do get on the phone. Should you stay together with religion? And how did the pandemic help your relationship? And then your healing matters. I mean, we got quite a few different topics. Dr. Alicia swears that we're just hopping on here unintentionally.
Oh, you got some good. Okay, these are good times. Okay, so next.
Okay. So if y'all are loving this,
All right, guys.
All right.
I'm out of here.
okay.
See you next time. Thank you for the invite.
I'm gonna close out, y'all. Let me close
Close
out.
me out. Ta-ta.
Okay. Come back every Tuesday at 8 p.m. CST, 9 p.m. EST. We're going to be discussing Black love with, of course, one of your favorite love and relationship and family therapist, Dr. Alicia, and me, the pretty plug, making sure y'all entertained through this whole conversation. So it's been real. Thank you both for our guests. Hopefully y'all come back next time. And
I will.
I hope to talk to you all soon.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Have a good night. Thank you.